Have you been looking for one of the most powerful production regulated air rifles out on the market? Well, look no further. Here is the AEA Challenger Pro in 22. They also make them in 25 and 30 caliber. Let's check it out. This video is brought to you by the Pellet Shop, where you can get all your AEA air gun needs and accessories from. And they sent me this AEA Challenger Pro in 22 caliber. That's what I requested to showcase for you guys. And again, they put me up to the challenge with this rifle. So I appreciate it, Ben. Let's get into the fun video we're gonna have with this powerhouse. Okay, so again, this is the 22 caliber AEA Challenger Pro. What makes this different is it is the regulated air gun from AEA. And not only that, but they offer this in 22, 25, 30, and 35 caliber. Now, with that said, this gun without the optic weighs 8.2 pounds. It has a 24-inch barrel on it, which is shrouded, but it does not have any muzzle device. So this is a very loud rifle and might not be backyard friendly for you. Now, with all that said, it does come with an adjustable stock, but overall in inches, it's about 37 inches. And as you notice, it does have a nice side cocking lever. Very nice. So with this model being 22, this came with 2 magazines, which are 12 rounds each. And with the increase in calibers, the less shots you get per magazine, all the way up to 35 caliber. And as you see here, this gun has a huge air cylinder of 350 cc's. And with that said, as you heard me say, this is the regulated version from AEA. It has a 100 cc air plenum. So here is your regulator, and here's your fill gauge. With a max fill pressure of 3,600 psi, or around 250 bar, the 22 caliber version of this rifle is very, and I mean very powerful, up to 80 foot-pounds with the correct ammunition. And with a 34 grain pellet, they're claiming around 1,000 feet a second, which I could say is very plausible. I've had this for a couple weeks, been doing some testing with it, and it is a very, very, very powerful air gun. Probably one of the most powerful air guns there is out there in this caliber for such a low price point. And believe it or not, these are around $800. That's the going rate just for the basic rifle here. And as you see, you have an adjustable transfer port so you can adjust the power, and it's set on max right now. And you're probably wondering, well, what is the shot count with the gun set that high? And I can tell you, you're not going to get that many shots, maybe a magazine or so, but you're getting the power. Again, that's what you're getting out of AEA guns. They're mainly for power, for that knockdown power, that extra oomph downrange. When you're shooting pellets that are going above the sound barrier and are accurate out of this rifle, which this 22 has a 1 in 17.7 inch twist rate, that is pretty good for almost all pellets across the board. Now again, with that transfer port set on high, you obviously want to shoot heavier pellets or slugs. And in this rifle, I have not messed with the regulator, but you can adjust it down to 2 different settings. I believe it's 180 and 150 is what the settings are. I'm not going to mess with it because obviously this gun was designed for power. And mine is set right now about 180, 190 bar. And again, you can adjust the transfer port. And you can mess with the hammer spring if you want. Yours should come with a changeable spring in the box, as this one did. I'm not going to mess with that. This thing is powerful enough for me as it sits right now. Now the claim on this rifle is that the trigger pull is about 1.5 pounds. We're going to test that out. And again, I don't have the 34 grain pellets to shoot in this, but I do have some 25-4 FX pellets we're going to try. And they're coming out of this barrel on the high setting. Again, I'm only getting like 1 or 2 mags of 12 shots each, not very much. If I turn that transfer port down a minimum and choke it down, I'm going to get a lot more shots. But again, this thing packs a wallop. It is setting right now at about 70 foot-pounds on the 25 4-grain pellet on the max setting. And you're probably wondering, well, just how accurate is this gun? You know, especially being that powerful, can I hit what I'm aiming at? And the answer is yes, you can. When I first got this gun, I left it on the setting it was out of the box, got my scope and everything set up the way I wanted it for the H&N Barracuda 21 grain. So check this out, right out of the box, guys. This gun was shooting lights out, no kidding. I posted the clips on the AEA group page on Facebook just to show what this gun was capable of. And it is crazy. Even with the power that's behind it, it is still very accurate and precise. Woo! 2 cards back to back, 50 yards. Okay, so before I show you the trigger pull and some other things about this rifle, I do want to go over some key details with you just to let you know what you're getting ahead of time if you decide to get this rifle. Now, as you see, this comes with a Picatinny riser, so it attaches to the standard dovetail of the block of the AEA gun itself. Now, as you also see here, I have a bipod on it. It has a Picatinny rail on the bottom, just a few slots. It does have a AR style grip and an AR style adjustable stock. Now this is like a mil-spec stock tube, and you can change this out for any AR style stock you want as long as it's mil-spec with the adjustable, or you can just go ahead and change out the actual buffer tube because the threads are the same on the nut here, the castle nut. So that's some things I really like. If you really know me, I really like the AR style rifles. That's my thing. Now, another thing I noticed here is they have the trigger safety right here. And that's the only safety on this. And you can, again, decock this gun. And this cocking lever is butter smooth. And you can't decock it like that when the safety's on, obviously. But this is a butter smooth system, no doubt. Now, airing this gun up. This is one of the biggest gripes I have with any air gun manufacturer, is that it uses a probe. Now, this is just me. Again, some guns, it's not that bad, but it still uses a probe, and you can either lose these or the O-rings can get wore out, and it's just an extra O-ring that I really don't want to worry about. But that's how you fill it. And again, it goes all the way up to 3,600 PSI, and it has a 350 cc air cylinder. As you can see, that thing's a tank to fill. And with the 100 cc plenum here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get this trigger gauge ready here to show you just the trigger pull on this gun. Might not be the best in the world, But before I attach the trigger gauge, I want to show you this collapsible buttstock. That's pretty cool. You can fold it, and it's got the locking snap lug right there, and that's it. And then on this actual factory shoulder piece, the actual stock itself on the tube, you got an adjustable leg here, and you got an adjustable shoulder, which I really like, a really adjustable butt plate, which I really like on this. So that gets you set on your scope and all that stuff. So now I'm going to go ahead and cock it and show you just how much this trigger pull is. And again, this gun is very, very loud, and it might not be backyard friendly for where you live at. And the shroud, you can buy in a Donnie FL adapter to attach a muzzle device to quieten the bark, because it's got some bark on high power and on low power. 4 pounds and 8 ounces. 4.5 pounds on that pull. 4 pounds and 13.6 ounces. So as you've seen there, that the trigger pull is about 4.5 pounds, give or take. It is more so, like they say, a hunting trigger. It is definitely not the most pleasant trigger to shoot, but it is decent. I'll give them that. So now I'm going to show you just how much raw power this thing has. I'm going to set up some cans downrange, some condensed chicken soup cans, and shoot them at this muzzle velocity of 70 foot-pounds with the FX25 4-grain pellets, guys, because the power that this puts out is insane. Okay, so I have the FX pocket chronograph hooked up on the end of here of the barrel, and I got the Monstrum 4-16 scope mounted on top. Got it dialed in at 50. Using the FX25 4-grain pellet. Got 3 cans down there to show you just the raw power of this rifle. And what's cool is the safety is ambidextrous. Okay, 50 yards, condensed chicken, cream of chicken. Personally, not a big fan of the magazines from AEA, but they work all right. Next can. Yeah, we're screaming. There we go. That one turned sideways on me. Got a little splatter on the target back there. See if I can turn it around. 1,113. That one didn't read. They're just going so fast. Even with the 25 4-grain pellet, they are doing some damage, guys. Not even kidding. Well, everybody, thanks for checking out the video on the AEA Challenger Pro and 22 cal. I appreciate Ben from the pellet shop. Again, you heard me review this gun here in front of you, and as you can hear it, it is not very backyard friendly the way it sits. Even if you turn it down, it still has some bark to it. You can buy the adapter from Donnie FL and then put your muzzle device on the end to quieten that bark. It is purely made for power. Even if it is regulated, you could tell with a 25 4-grain pellet at 1,100 feet a second, it is putting out some power downrange. And you're talking 70 plus foot-pounds, even 80 foot-pounds with the correct ammo out of this rifle. Now, I don't have any of that heavy stuff because I don't shoot it all the time. But with that said, you know, this gun is that's what it's set up for. It is set up to be one of the most powerful air guns out on the market the way it is out of the box. No modifications, none of that. And this is what you get, literally a powerhouse. Now, this would be something you would want to take for a little bit bigger game than small game. Now, you can take it for small game. I'm not going to say you can't. But at the same time, this thing is putting out some power that you could take down, you know, where legal, bigger game than small game with it. Now, obviously, you know, squirrels, raccoons, fox, coyotes, probably hogs, this thing would be perfect for that. Obviously, you'd want to tinker with it and get it set up for the pellet that you want. Again, with the barrel twist the way it is, 17.7 inch twist, you could shoot a broad plethora of pellet weights and get it dialed in. It is very accurate, very precise, you know, shooting almost one whole groups at 50 out of the box, splitting playing cards, hitting playing cards, I should say, and very explosive on impact with that much power downrange. And the things that I like about it, again, the power is great, don't get me wrong. The smooth side cocking lever is awesome. I really like that. It is really balanced, and it has the AR style features, which I really like. If you don't know me, again, I love the AR style rifles. I love the grip, you know, the butt plate, adjustable butt plate, the stock, the buffer tube, all that. You can really go hog wild with all the different attachments. But other than that, the only thing I really don't care for is the probes, and the magazines are okay. I wouldn't say they're the best out there, but that's just me personally. I can withstand it for this gun, for putting it out there that much foot-pounds. You know, again, whatever you hit, it's going to be doing some damage to, whether it's pellets or slugs. Now, I did test the barrel, and it doesn't have a choke from what I could tell. It does have some right undersized lands for the caliber, like right at 22 cal. So, you know, the ammo that you choose might be a little bit picky, but again, the twist rate can manage the stabilization downrange. Other than that, that's all I have to say. Again, appreciate Ben for getting this to me. It's an awesome gun, and if you want to degas it, you have to shoot the air out of the cylinder, which to me, that's okay. I would prefer a degassing screw. You have to shoot the air out and unscrew the regulator gauge on the side here to degas it. That's just me. I mean, that's kind of a hassle, but then you can adjust your regulator if you want. I'm not going to go all through that because the way this gun was made and set up, it wasn't made to be turned down. It was made to be a powerhouse and made to shoot, you know, powerful and either close range, or you could take it out a lot farther. But this thing will definitely drop some animals if that's what you're buying it for hunting or pesting. But again, with that bark on the end, you're going to have to spend the extra money to get the attachment to quieten that bark down. So anyways, I appreciate you watching as always, and I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I had fun making it. Thanks again. Hope to see you on the next one, guys.